In a little village, nestled at the foot of the Blue Mountains, a family led a simple and fulfilling life. Their existence was loving, compassionate, and nurturing, centered around the land they cherished. Surrounded by mountains and forests, they lived in a quaint farmhouse next to a babbling brook. It was an idyllic setting, perfect for raising a family. It was the summer of 1939, and the temperature was high. While the mother, Mary Evans, was inside the house attending to housework, her children, Lily and Rose, were cooling off in the creek. The house itself was large and roomy, featuring a spacious kitchen, a dining area, and a cozy living room. Upstairs, there were 5 bedrooms and 2 half-bathrooms, each room exuding a warm and inviting atmosphere. Mary had to care for the children by herself while her husband, John, was abroad on business. Despite the challenges, Mary maintained a devout Christian life. She attended church every Sunday with her children, participated in church meetings, studied the Bible, and prayed regularly. However, beneath her pious exterior, something was amiss. Mary harbored a secret interest in witchcraft and the occult, a fascination that conflicted deeply with her Christian beliefs. This hidden side of her nature began to surface, casting a shadow over the family's serene life. One sweltering afternoon, as the children played outside, Mary found herself drawn to an old shed at the edge of the property. Inside, she discovered a dusty, forgotten book titled Witchcraft, Raising the Devil. Compelled by an unknown force, she took the book and retreated to the woods, where 3 eerie-looking trees stood like sentinels. In a trance-like state, Mary dug a shallow hole and unearthed the book. She brushed the dirt off its cover, drew a pentagram in the soil, and started a fire. As she read aloud from the book, the flames grew higher, dancing and leaping as thunder roared in the background. Rain poured down, but Mary continued to read, oblivious to the storm's fury. When Mary finally awoke from her trance, she was confused and disoriented, clutching the wet book in her hands. Realizing the gravity of her actions, she threw the book into the fire and fled back to the house, praying for forgiveness. She didn't understand that she had unleashed a dark force that would haunt her family. That night, the children's cries and screams jolted Mary from her sleep. Rushing to their room, she found Lily and Rose staring in terror at a demonic figure. The entity laughed malevolently at Mary before dissolving into the wall. She comforted her daughters and put them back to bed, but the peace was short-lived. 3 hard knocks on the wall awakened the girls again, followed by the sound of stomping in the attic. As the days passed, the household atmosphere grew increasingly hostile. The once harmonious family began to bicker and fight over trivial matters. Mary's nightmares worsened, filled with visions of the demonic figure and her children's torment. One morning, as the girls watched cartoons, a dark, shadowy mass suddenly projected itself into Lily, causing her to thrash and scream. Rose called for their mother, who arrived to find Lily possessed, her eyes pitch black. Desperate, Mary contacted Pastor Dillard for help, but he never arrived due to a tragic accident involving a runaway truck. Alone and overwhelmed, Mary turned to the Bible, praying over her daughter and hoping for a miracle. However, the possession took hold rapidly. Lily began speaking in tongues, using profane language, and exhibiting violent behavior. She even climbed the walls and hid in the attic, leaving Mary and Rose in a state of constant fear. One evening, Lily crept down from the attic, entered her sister's room with a butcher knife, and stood over Rose, ready to strike. Rose woke up and screamed, alerting Mary, who rushed in to find her daughter poised to attack. Mary managed to push Lily away and instructed Rose to flee the house. With blood streaming down her leg from a stab wound inflicted by Lily, Mary limped to her room and grabbed a Bible, holy water, and a cross. She then ran outside to the 3 eerie trees where the fire still burned. She retrieved the Witchcraft book from the flames and headed back to the house, hearing growls and seeing red eyes watching her from the woods. Inside, the situation grew more dire. Lily continued to torment her mother and sister, the demonic presence in the house becoming stronger. Determined to save her daughters and herself, Mary decided to confront the evil head-on. She sprinkled holy water around the house, reciting prayers and invoking God's protection. In a final confrontation, Mary faced the demonic entity in the living room. Holding the cross and Bible tightly, she chanted prayers, her voice steady despite her fear. The entity roared in anger, but Mary's faith held strong. Gradually, the presence weakened and Lily collapsed, freed from the possession. Exhausted and bleeding, Mary gathered her daughters and left the house. They sought refuge in the church, where they received support and solace from the community. Mary confessed her sins and sought forgiveness, vowing to never stray from her faith again. The farmhouse remained empty, a silent witness to the horrors that had unfolded. The villagers whispered about the Evans family's ordeal, a cautionary tale of the dangers of dabbling in the occult. Mary and her daughters slowly rebuilt their lives, their bond strengthened by the trials they had endured. Despite the darkness that had invaded their lives, Mary found solace in her renewed faith and the love of her children. The Blue Mountains and the Serene Village became symbols of resilience and hope, a reminder that even in the face of evil, light can prevail.